So continue. A ladle. So ladle. Poskim disagree as to whether ladle used to transfer from kli rishon to kli sheni. So kli rishon is the original part. Kli sheni is our bowl, right? Is considered kli rishon or kli sheni, right? So it's very interesting question. So when I use my ladle, so is it considered like the first vessel, right? Because I submerge into part of the soup, or it's considered like a secondary vessel, like I pour into secondary vessel? That's very interesting question. And then I'm going to say what we do on Shabbos, right? If one removes chicken soup from hot pot with ladle, and some milk falls into ladle, okay, of course we're talking like hypothetical, but okay, some hot milk falls into ladle, or the hot soup is poured over the cheese, okay, meaning from this ladle, right? It is questionable if the soup in the ladle retains the status of food in a kli rishon. Okay, the Rav must be consulted. So let's read one more time, and we're going to explain. If one removes chicken soup with a ladle from a hot pot, with a ladle, okay, and some milk falls into the ladle. So basically, the milk is in a secondary vessel, and as you see, if we go by this leniency, that leniency, technically maybe it's no problem. You just have to wash the ladle, right? Or the hot soup is poured over the cheese, right? Again, from this ladle, so they don't get confused. So maybe if we consider ladle is a secondary vessel, so if you pour from secondary in like on this cheese, so in the tertiary vessel, maybe there is no problem whatsoever, as we said on the previous page. It is questionable if the soup in the ladle retains the status of the food of kli rishon, right? So we don't know if it's kli rishon, meaning ladle is considered to be like the original pot of the soup, or ladle is considered to be like a bowl, right? A Rav must be consulted. Okay, before we can go consult the Rav, we have to see what is the difference of the opinion. And our rabbis say, we need to be practical, right? So our rabbis explain, so if we have to go in the middle of the road, right? What is middle of the road? If this ladle was metal, right, and it was submerged into the soup for a long time, right, for sure it would become like a primary vessel, right? So for sure, right, because it will get very hot. But if it's a plastic, right, today many things are made from plastic, and like you would only pour to one plate and let it rest, for example, even for a few seconds, so the plastic loses the heat very fast. You understand? So in this case, it's going to be secondary vessel. So it depends how often you use this ladle. So that's a practical application. Okay, next one. Any questions on what we said before I continue? So we did so far two cases. One is pouring from original vessel, and second, use a ladle as a medium.